Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada and around the world. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm a fellow of Rosa Institute of Canada, broker of record for City Pro Realty Inc. brokerage, and your host tonight. What is on your mind today? Every home buyer, homeowner has this on mind. There are a couple of things that strikes everybody's mind is interest rate. What is happening? Should I buy the property? Should I sell my property? Is the best time to get a variable mortgage or get a fixed mortgage? Viewers, I'm a licensed principal broker of Canada Express Mortgage Inc. license number 13241. So I can talk about real estate as well as the mortgages. So let's talk about the rise of interest rate, how it has impacted us. Bank of Canada has increased rate several times. If you have a prime rate in January, February, it was 2.45. As of today, prime rate is 5.95. So it has increased 3.5% in this 2022. Most likely, there is another interest rate increase coming on December 7. Potentially, maybe 0.25% to 0.5%. How it affects it? If it's a 0.25% increase, it costs approximately $28 to $30 per 100,000. That costs you more to carry your mortgage if you have variable mortgage or you have a home equity line. Some people have a minus home equity line or they have a home equity line prime plus. Your cost of borrowing will increase. And based on the market condition, inflation rate is around 7%. It came down from 8%, but not as rapidly as predicted. So likelihood of interest rate will continue to increase even first and second quarter of 2023. It may stabilize in third or fourth quarter. And potential is that if inflation rate based on Bank of Canada, it may go down to 3% toward end of 2023. Therefore, we expect the decline of the interest rate beginning in first quarter of 2024. For now, it's going to continue to grow. So you expect another increase in December, maybe 0.25% or 0.50. It all depends based on the financial report the Bank of Canada gets from its institution. So should I buy it or should I not buy it? Look at your financial, how much saving you have, how much you are buying, what type of property you're buying, what is the value of the property you can buy, and creating your own budget to see if you can afford it. If you don't know how to create a budget to when you're buying a property, come to me. Call me 416-451-3489. I can help you, or call my office 905-785-5992. 24/7, you call the message. If it gets to me, I get back to you. Important thing is budgeting and planning it and what is you qualify. I put together a calculator. If you go to city-pro.net and buying or selling, there you drop down menu, select the calculator. You can calculate your affordability. And there are nice calculators you can, with the privacy of your home, you can calculate what you can buy. Put your gross income of the family, it will, and put how much debt you have, and then what you can afford. You click there, you make selection, and then you know what is the value you can buy. It really, because when you are qualifying for a mortgage, the next step that connects the mortgage approval is OFC rules, because there is a stress test. And I'm going to talk about the stress test because TransTech is really hurting people. They're not qualifying. Is interest rates are going up, because let's assume you have a contract rate of 5.4%. So in order to qualify you for the amount, they're going to add 2 more percent. So that means 7.4, you qualify how much? Then they will give you the mortgage. So I am hoping our federal government and also OFC, they'd consider dropping this stress test. We already have a shortage of housing. Properties are not being sold. According to the TREB report, there was 67,000 transactions took place in Toronto Regional Real Estate Board system, MLS system, plus minus 10% maybe from ITSO or other board. So that's a drop of from 121,000 in 2021. So we still have half the November, and then we have a December more. But I don't expect that it's going to be going up unless people start buying it because of the new interest rates are coming. If you are paying a very significant high rental, and you are able to come up with your own deposit. Deposit has been very challenging because I'm a principal broker. I have helped few of my borrowers, clients, to get them the mortgage. We have a good banking system. We qualify to get you the mortgage if you are buying from A lender or a B lender. There are some flexibilities, and we have A lending, B lending, and private lending. But the private lending is normally a short-term solution that you are short of $50,000 to $100,000, you can borrow it. But if you have a long-term plan, it's expensive. We have a lender who will charge less money as compared to a lot of brokerage. We charge 1% as a brokerage fee and 1% for the lender fee. So pay you 2% and you get the B lending done through our brokerage. If you want to learn more about it, go to express-mortgage.ca. An email will come to me and I'll give you the information that you need to fill out and we can help you. But we have if you are in a high loan-to-value ratio is higher than 80%, through my brokerage, you can get about 5.9% 5-year fix. But if your mortgage, if your loan-to-value is 75 to 80%, the rate is 5.29% as of today, 5-year fix. And if it's 70 to 75%, is 5.24%. And it is valid for 120 days. So if you are looking for that, you please get back to me and I can help you. There are so many B lending criteria that we have to go through. And there are very easy way of getting the money. And you have to do proper presentation. You have to disclose all the information that you have in order for to qualify. The OFC rule, I'm hoping that the government is listening to our program. They eliminate the OFC rule because this addition 2% is really hurting people to get into the house because sometimes they're inches close to buy the property they want, but because of this 2% risk factor, they are not able to get that house of their choice. And they have to resell it again later on to buy into from semi to detached, condo to townhome, or to townhome to semi. So this is very important that the OFC rules are eliminated. I hope that they're listening. The biggest challenge is that when you are, interest rates are impacting you, their affordability is affected. Because when you are calculating the mortgage, one is to qualify. Let's assume you qualify for the mortgage. Now is affordability. Can you really afford it? Because you have to pay monthly. So far, the increases that took place, some people are paying, unless they have a fixed mortgage, over $2,000 more now if they had a variable mortgage, depending on the loan. a month on top of the mortgage because of interest rate, if you have $1 million mortgage. So this is why it's very, very important, affordability. Not only want to qualify, that you qualify, but are you comfortable to qualify? Or you're stretching it. You're closing all the business activities, you stop buying the car, or you need to support your family, your kids. You're cutting down all the pleasure of your life when you are buying a house. And you have no money to celebrate your life. House is about enjoying a family, making a home, enjoying it, providing shelter, have a good laugh and enjoyable. But if you are in stress, worried about your money coming, you're paying for the line of credit, you're paying for your car, you're paying a mortgage, you're paying property taxes, you're paying CRA, clothes, food, gasoline, auto insurance, all these expenses when you put together, you see, oh, can I really afford it? That's why under MBLLA, as a principal broker, we look at the know your client, that we need to create a kind of budget sheet to see where they stand in terms of their gross debt and total debt service, so can they afford it, this mortgage. And then suitability is the assessment, the product that we are offering to them to live into that house or the mortgage that we are arranging to make sure they can afford it. So affordability is a big challenge for people with a limited income, because the income has not increased as significantly as the inflation or escalation of goods and services that you buy for a living. Inflation is really impacting it, because supply and demand issue, there is a demand for everything and there is a shortage of supply. Some supply is created created because the goods are not produced in Canada. They brought in from overseas. Shipping costs has increased. Time to grow or to bring or manufacture has increased. So therefore, it affected inflation. Inflation affected our human life in Canada, because we are buying those things and there is a short of supply and production has not reached the capacity. Within Canada, production has increased to almost 90-95%. So that means things are getting in very normal. In next month or two, we should be 100% on our production capacity. But you are bringing lots of things from overseas, and if supply chain is not working properly, and we still have a shortage of those supplies. Obviously, construction costs, labor costs has increased. Therefore, the housing prices, they continue to have a shortage issue. They were the shortage of housing before the pandemic. You saw the frenzy in pandemic, and now we have over 400,000 immigrants in 2022. The shortage is going to continue. The government of Ontario has created a great incentive. They're going to produce $1.5 million and 1.5 million houses in next 10 years. The government of Ontario Premier Ford is taking a lot of initiative to expedite the approval process, eliminate unnecessary interference from the public where the parties have no interest in it, but it delays the process, approval process. So there are lots of things that are happening, and I am hoping it will improve the supply. But regardless of what is done, it takes longer to build a subdivision, take maybe 3 to 4 years to complete. So that means the short supply will continue. We had Mississauga, the board invited Mayor Bonnie Kravi. Congratulations, she's elected third time as a mayor of Mississauga. That she said there are 56 high-rise buildings coming in next 10 years in the core of city of Mississauga. So that means there will be lots of units available. They're going more vertical to justify the cost of infrastructure to bring in light vehicle LRT, right? So this is why they're going vertical instead of expanding horizontal, because we have a shortage of supply. So there is a lot of effort being made, and the government are relaxing the protocol, the process. changes to the Planning Act to make sure things are done in a way that it doesn't hinder the growth. And they are providing a lot of financial support to municipality. Even the federal government is doing it. Therefore, it's going to come out. So we're hoping that with effort by the Ontario federal government giving funding on the project for housing project to create more affordability, we have discussed that in many episodes before. I think I'm going to invite our housing minister from Ontario, hopefully in the next episode or next, to talk about the effort by the Ontario government so we know where we stand and how everything is moving, so you are kept informed. So I am very positive that regardless of all the efforts, shortage of supply will continue to be a problem because your immigrants, majority of them, over 60% stay in GTA, which is Toronto or maybe Vancouver. And then the rest are spread other places. So shortage of supply continue to remain problem. The most important thing is to maybe move to a smaller town and think about working virtually. And everybody has transformed their business depending on type of work that you're doing. Unless it's manufacturing, you are remotely able to work. And lots of my clients are working remotely from their home, and they have moved away from city, and they are happy. They got a bigger home and backyard for the kids, and they didn't have to pay the high prices that we see in Mississauga or in Toronto area. So this is why it's very important. So think about that. Give me a call. My number is 416-451-3489, or call my office, 905-785-9923, and I can help you where you can be more comfortable and enjoy a beautiful home of your choice. Affordability is the key. Your budget is the next. Other thing that is on mind is the mortgage fraud. What happened is that when someone secure a mortgage by misrepresenting, falsifying document, or missing relevant information and securing the mortgage they cannot afford. And lots of lenders are going back and asking borrowers to verify their income. Based on the information you provided. Remember, when you submit your application, you certify this is accurate and complete as of signing this application. And you are giving consent and permission to the borrower, to the lender, to verify that. You're tying your hand because you are borrowing somebody else's money. You are asking somebody to give you the money to buy your house. And if you are giving a misinformation, or you have gotten through people, professional who have a license as a realtor or mortgage agent, or even the lender, who have bent the rules by violating MVLLA or REBA and fraudulently created or fabricated documents to get a mortgage, you will get caught. As a professional, it is our moral and ethical and legal duty to report. When you have a buyer, I'm talking to real estate professionals, when you have a buyer, you ask the basic question: can you afford it? Do you have a pre-approval? Where did you get the approval? Do you have the income? You have a chat, a conversation, because you don't want to waste. If you have putting an offer, first thing the listing agent will ask you, is your client pre-approved? Bank don't do any more pre-approval anymore. But you have to interview them to find out what is their affordability is. Can they qualify for the mortgage? And if you are not a licensed mortgage broker, make a referral to the lenders or the brokers to help them qualify, or get an opinion. What do you think? Because when you are putting an offer, you're making effort, showing a property, and you put a conditional offer, and then the guy doesn't qualify. Then sometimes you don't give deposit. You buy and say, I don't want to give deposit. Who does this reflect? On you as a real estate professional, because you did not check the guy has the money or not before you put an offer. And if you have a multiple bidding war and you to secure the property, and next day you don't give deposit, what happens? He or she can write a complaint about you. Your misrepresentation, incompetent, dishonest service, and not be transparent with your cooperating broker. And there could be a disciplinary action. So this is why it's very important for us to be open and frank and very transparent, to make sure you're not wasting anyone's time, get them pre-qualified, because if you get involved with giving money, arranging the mortgage, we also get a referral fee. I'm a principal broker. I always get disclosures signed, explain them, because I have a brokerage, mortgage brokerage, I have a real estate brokerage. So I get them disclosure signed, whether they end up going somewhere else, but disclosure is signed, so in case they need help. And this happened to me one time recently, where through my network or through my brokerage, they were able to get a better deal than what is available to them. So this is why you have a disclosure. You have a mortgage broker disclosure, you have a real estate disclosure, if you have the both licenses. I own the both brokerages. So never get involved. Check your ID under FinTrack form. You check that. You have seen it with a valid government ID with a photo. Corporation, you have article corporations, and you get the individual executive director who has signing authority. Also verify that person who is saying, I have the authority to bind the corporation. If you're dealing with a commercial, even the commercial is buying residential home. They're Canadian, they can buy it. But you need to find out that individual's name there is the one. And I always complete personal and corporate both for the person who's going to sign. The buyer that you're taking to sell a property, buy a property, make sure his IDs are identified. Make sure he come and see the property with you. And there is a big seminar of Realty Coffee Talk that was aired on Awaz Entertainment, how to avoid mortgage fraud. So you can go to realtycoffeetalk.com or my YouTube channel, Tahir Qureshi, where you can look for how to avoid mortgage fraud, especially for real estate professional involved. It gives you the red flags, type of the mortgage that's happening and how we can avoid. Recently, Real Estate Council of Ontario sent out a message. There was in the media, some agent was involved with a mortgage fraud. So they're going to take very strict action if they are found with a proper complaint and compliance protocol we're going to talk about toward the end of the program. So please avoid such thing. If your buyer cannot qualify based on the income, based on the notice of assessment, they don't have an employment to verify, please don't do it. It's better to lose that business than get in trouble. Okay? The next term is failing deals. That's on our mind. So we have interest issue, stress issue. We also have affordability issues in our mind, mortgage fraud. Who is doing it? Lender. Sometimes lenders take money under the table to arrange a mortgage. That's a fraud. That's a criminal act. Now, what happened? When you take a mortgage based on, you stretch yourself, you got the mortgage, now you're going to close it. You're ready to close the deal. Banks send out 10 days before, get your appraisal. And now your appraisal came 100,000 below the APS price. Who's going to pay that 100,000? This is happening. This happened. It's happening. somebody. Who is that? The person is the buyer. He or she bought a property for 1 million. Now let's assume is 900,000 appraised value. So he need that 100,000 to close the deal. Otherwise, he cannot do that. Close the deal because he has shortage of money. So you have to think about that. Do you have a contingency plan? And this is a smart real estate professional will help you to analyze and mitigate the losses. And they create that budget and create that risk to make sure your client have additional funds to cover that risk. But when you are buying the property, and if you do not analyze that risk, you are going to get in trouble. And not only you're going to get trouble in buying that property, you may already sold your property. And you need money from your property. Or similarly, another buyer who was buying your property could not close, and you have another property that you bought, you are closing. So there are multiple reasons the deal can collapse. So it's always a good idea to close your property first, and then you close the other one. I have just recently closed a property that closed yesterday, and my client who sold that is closing tomorrow. So it gives a lot of time to the lawyers to do the paperwork. So you can get in trouble when you don't close the deal the date you have set for closing. Major issue is always banks saying, refuse to give you the money. You know why? One is appraisal. Second thing is they discover the information provided to secure the mortgage is missing relevant information. They don't have to give you the money because you agree to provide accurate and complete information. Or the paperwork that you submitted for employment is not accurate. They're fabricated. Or the amount that you declare your application is not supported by the employer. Or some other changes, other issues. So you fail the deal. And what happened if deal fails? Real estate profession, we don't get paid until deal closes. So we lose that avenue. If we have to support our family, pay for the mortgage, pay for our car, gasoline that we drive around, showing the properties, and other expenses, looking after the home and family, we suffered. So it's not prudent to pay attention to the details when you are helping and dealing with it. We're going to take a short break, and we'll come back and continue our conversation. What is on your mind today?
खूबसूरत और दिलकश ज़ेवरात का बेमिसाल मरकज मक्का ज्वेलर्स आपकी खुशियों में बराबर की शरीक, जहां आपको मिलेगी आपकी पसंद की कंगन, चोकर, सतलड़ा, झुमके, चंदनहार, बेशुमार डिजाइन की अंगूठियां और चूड़ियां। तो आज ही तशरीफ लाएं 7086 एयरपोर्ट रोड, मिसिसागा। आपकी ज्वेलरी देखकर लोग यही कहेंगे, मक्का ज्वेलर्स से लिए हैं क्या?
Welcome to POC Homes Builder Incorporated. We design and build custom homes for landowners, low-rise condo buildings, plazas as well as the industrial sector. We are a registered vendor with HCRA to build homes across the province on Ontario. We provide Tarian warranty in accordance with Ontario New Home Warranties Plan Act.
We build your dream home.
Call us today at 905-904-5353.
Babu Pan and Shawarma. Now serving from 4 locations.
KK Travel believe in providing everyone the first-class customer service. We take care not only for your air ticket, but dignity and respect as well. We are available for you anytime on WhatsApp, even while you are in Pakistan or any other destination. KK Travels guarantee lowest prices and are open to price match any airline.
We are KK Travels under supervision of Gas Khan at 905-367-9433 or visit www.gaskhontravels.com.
डिक्सी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स और अप्लायंसेस पिछले 16 सालों से खरीदारों की खिदमत कर रहे हैं। हम लगातार 4 सालों से खरीदारों की पहली पसंद बने रहने का अवार्ड हासिल कर चुके हैं। हम किचनर्स, बॉश, वर्लपूल, एलजी, सैमसंग और जनरल इलेक्ट्रिक के ऑथराइज्ड डीलर हैं। 5 स्टार खिदमत का लुत्फ लें। हम आप सभी को टीवी सबसे ज्यादा रियायती दामों पर देने की गारंटी देते हैं। www.dixieelectronics.ca हमारी वेबसाइट पर जाएं या अभी कॉल करें 905-625-5900। सभी बहुत ही मुनासिब कीमत पर दस्तयाब हैं जो आप बाआसानी से ले सकते हैं। At Dixie, we sell quality and deliver confidence.
Zoc. Now it's fully renovated. Live catering, barbecue, tandoor, जलेबियाँ और fresh naan. तकरीब आपके घर में हो या घर से बाहर, Zoc is providing full service now, and Zoc has opened a new banquet hall, garden event center. आपका Zoc देखकर लोग कहेंगे क्या Zoc है आपका? Call right now 905-625-7786. Zoc. Zoc वालों के लिए.
Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada around the world. What is on your mind today? We talked about interest rate, off-sea rules, or we call them stress tests, affordability, mortgage fraud, and failing deals. You know, in real estate professional, we don't get paid until the deal closes, and we wait to the last minute. Sometimes deals are 60 days, sometimes maybe 30 days, sometimes more than 90 days, sometimes 6 months. We don't get paid. So everybody has to realize that we don't get paid. We get only paid because we're a self-employed, independent contractor, except some commercial agent who are working for the brokerage. We need to make sure that we work very hard to stay in touch with the client, the mortgage agent, mortgage broker, appraiser, home inspector, lawyers, all people, lenders who are connected with it to make sure you have a constant communication. If anyone needs information, please provide them. So because failing deals happen, not only affects like our living, it also impacts the buyer and seller. Because some buyer are buying the property because they sold their house. Some seller has sold their house, they bought another property. So one transaction will affect various family involved. It may affect 4 or 5 deals because each one is selling to upgrade or selling to downsize or relocation. So this is why it's very important as a real estate professional, we pay attention to the details and also appraise them. Because when a deal fails, there are consequences. Your deposit is forfeited, or you go to court, you will lose money. It takes several years. Then, if the seller has sold at peak time, highest price, and there is a decline in the prices, as you have seen, then any loss of the seller to sell that price equal to that amount or greater, through their lawyer, they will be suing you. You will be facing consequences of those failed deals. And litigation starts. So best thing is before you jump into buying or selling a transaction, sit down, brainstorm, form your team. You bring your lawyer, talk to your mortgage agent, or you talk to your real estate professional, appraisal guy, your inspector. If you want to do some improvement, you can maybe, with the permission of the seller, get a contractor to look at things that you want to change. But have a budget for everything. Without money, you can't do it. So it's very important that you avoid failing deal, not only that as a real estate professional, you lose your commission, but also your client get in trouble financially because of certain things happens. Other thing, important thing that is what's happening is called sale dropping. So if you have, remember that in the first week of November, I shared with you the sale transaction for the October. Our sale in 2021 was 9,743. In 2022 October, we have sale 4,961. So decline of 49.1% minus. Sales have declined as compared to October last year, 21, 49.1%. And new listing has declined minus 11.6%. And active listing has increased 68.1% from last October to this October 2022. Our average price, what was in October last year, was $1,155,624. So average price now in October was $1,089,428, a minus 5.7. So you can see that, but I'm going to share with you toward the end of the program about this. So it's taking list day on the market from 13 days to 21 days, which is 61.5% increase. And property day on the market, 18 to 33%, is 83.3% longer take to sell a property. Okay, so you can see that sales are declining. Now I'm going to show you our annual report that I shared with you before. Is that last year we have under Toronto Regional Real Estate Board transaction through MarketWatch 121,638 transaction. And this, I'm talking about all type of transaction, whether it's a condo, a townhome, or detached home, semi-detached or detached home of any size. They were 121,638, and average price based on this transaction was $1,995,335. So now in 10 months, we have total of 67,559 transaction, and average price is 1.2 million, 1,203,916. So you can see that average price has increased. I'm going to round it up to 106,000 based on the 67,559 transaction. Because we're going to have a month and a half more, November half and December, then we will have total transaction and average price. Remember that your prices these are average prices. Every neighborhood, every house have unique features, unique location, and interior, exterior finishes. So you need to speak to real estate professional in your community, in your area, who is acting and providing services. If you have any question, you can call me. I'm a fellow of Real Estate Institute of Canada, and I can help you. You can pick up a phone, give me your address. In 5 minutes, I can give you estimated value of your property with just a few questions. And my number is 416-451-3489. So let's continue conversation. So sale had declined, but you can see that approximately $106,000 has increased average from 21 to 22. So price has not gone down. Sale has increased, declined almost minus 50%. Okay. Now next question is consumer complaints. Ontario, in the province of Ontario, the government of Ontario have a law. It's called a Real Estate Business Broker Act, 2002. It's going to be a Trust and Real Estate Services Act, April 1st, 2023. The name is being changed, and some changes are happening. So Real Estate Council of Ontario is mandated by the Ontario government to implement education, registration, compliance, and consumer protection program. So when consumers have a complaint against a real estate professional, they can go to RECO, reco.on.ca, and there's a complaint and compliance process. You can write a complaint if you're unhappy or some unethical practice by a professional, because Government of Ontario wants to build confidence and trust in real estate, because 30% of our economy is based on real estate. So they want to make sure your trust is maintained. That's why we have a regulator. Amazing personality. He's been, Joe Riker is the registrar of Real Estate Council of Ontario. I've interacted through email and personally 1 or 2 times. Amazing personality. You can ask Joe if you have any question about real estate. Or you visit reco.on.ca. Ask any question. I'm a broker record for City Pro Realty in brokerage. If you have any question regarding Code of Ethics, Ontario Regulation 580/5 is called Code of Ethics under REBA. That has 53 chapters that talk about how to deal as a real estate professional. What are obligations under the law? Dealing with fellow realtors, dealing with consumer, type of service we provide, what is competency we have, who we can make a referral to others professional. We have lawyers, we have inspectors, appraisers, depending on your qualification, unless you have a license. And also cooperating with the fellow registrant, not interfering with their contractual obligation if they have sign up with the BRA or listing agreement. Be honest and professional. Follow the Code of Ethics. Raise the bar. And these are the very things to avoid. You probably, as a real estate professional, receive an email from RECO about the mortgage fraud they're investigating. So when you get involved and you infringe the Code of Ethics, you break the law, you will be subject to a disciplinary action when a complaint is received. It's very important to raise the bar, be professional, honest, competent. It's our obligation and our duty, fiduciary duty to the client, that we act professionally, ethically, follow the law, and make as a normal practice in your life. Good ethic, good business. You are watching Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm a fellow of Royal Institute of Canada and broker record for City Pro Realty, and also principal broker of Canada Express Mortgage, license number 13241. If you have any question regarding Realty Coffee Talk and Awaz Entertainment, please call 647-484-0018 or call my direct number 416-451-3489. We'll see you next Thursday at 7 p.m. on Awaz Entertainment in Canada, around the world. Bye for now.